is Gabe Cortez, and this is my research exemplar, Shifting from Wellness at Work to Wellness in Work. Stress is defined as a relationship between the person and the environment that is appraised by the person as relevant to his or her well-being, in which the person's resources are taxed or exceeded. Folkman, Lazarus, 1989. Stress is inescapable in most work environments. This can affect organizations becoming more understanding of their employees' needs by implementing workplace wellness programs to help relieve stress caused by work. As the goal of WWPs, the effectiveness of these programs is in question. Not every organization has adopted workplace wellness into their culture, and those that have are critiqued as being marginalized and intruding on employees' privacy. A 2013 study found that less than 20% of U.S. employees participate in workplace wellness programs. Since healthcare workers experience some of the highest amount of work-related stress, Harrison and Stevens wanted to study the link between stress and organization and theorize what exactly effective wellness looks like in the workplace of a 248-bed pediatric teaching hospital in a large southwestern city. Data was gathered in 3 ways: document analysis, observation, and focus groups. With document analysis, researchers were granted access to data and information on wellness activities within the hospital's residency unit. Activities were scheduled each week, but they were always after work hours, and employees were notified of activities via email and text. The observations were held as observer as participant, where Harrison and Stevens entered the scene and observed for 35 hours total, 20 residents from July to mid-February of 2016. Observational time ranged from 1.5 to 7 hours. Residents were selected to be observed based on diversity of training, demographics, and shift time to obtain broad experiences. This helped the researchers understand how day-to-day operations in the hospital went for the resident students and the amount of stress they were generally under at any given time, as well as understand the organizational language the participants used as a language-based inquiry. The third method of data collection was 8 researchers led focus groups with 34 participants. The goal of these groups were to communicate freely about work and stress and wellness. Researchers asked the 2 research questions and clarified documents and observational data, as well as ask questions like, what stress do you experience at work? How do you cope with stress? This data was transcribed verbatim, and thematic analysis was conducted to discern categories that addressed research questions. The study looked at misconnections between stress and workplace wellness programs in hopes of changing the how workplace wellness is handled. In the case of the healthcare workers, Harrison and Stevens' findings were grounded in practice theory and showed that organizing wellness as a routine and improvised forms will lead to structural contours in the organization, causing employees to be less involved in those wellness activities in groups. Stress does not have a universal solution. People have preferred coping styles when it comes to dealing with stress. The researchers suggest that organizations examine in practice wellness by providing diverse and accessible resources for coping. This can potentially help situate wellness within the process of working.